Allan Schoenborn, who killed his 3 young children in 2008 here in British Columbia, has been given a conditional discharge from the Forensic Psychiatric Hospital. In 2010, he was found not criminally responsible because of his mental state at the time of the killing. Among the questions now, how did the review board determine he could safely be released, and where will he be living? Sarah Galashan covered this story back in 2008, and she's on it for us today. Sarah?
Yeah, Ian's Allan Schoenborn, who I need to say off the top is actually now going by the name Ken John Johnson. Of course, 16 years now spent being held and treated at BC's Forensic Psychiatric Hospital. He has been granted this conditional discharge over the next 12 months. There are a number of stipulations, points that have to be followed as part of the review board's decision here. Among them, that this is a residence that needs to be supervised and has to be appropriate, considered to be appropriate by the director, and that he will need to attend the nearest forensic psychiatric clinic to that residence. He's going to need to go back to the hospital if he is ordered to do so, and he's going to need to, among other things, report any intimate relationships that he might have. All of this takes effect as of last Tuesday, a couple of days ago. For those who might not remember the killings here back in 2008, Schoenborn is somebody who killed his 3 children. They were between the ages of 5 to 10 years old. He smothered and he stabbed them inside the family trailer in Merritt. He then fled into the wilderness outside of Merritt, and that led to a 10-day manhunt. He was eventually discovered hiding under a bush and emaciated. The mother of these children, Darcy Clark, she passed away in 2019. That was 2 years after she learned that Schoenborn was not going to meet the threshold or the bar to be declared a dangerous offender. And that same year, in 2017, he was granted by the review board some escorted entry into the community. The family, the remaining family of connected to the Schoenborn children, they say they are not surprised by this. They are disappointed. And their concern is that conditional discharge, the next step of sort of re-entry here, or freedom, if you will be absolute discharge. But here is what a family spokesperson had to say.
Both the director of the hospital and the Crown Counsel said that he continues to be a high risk to community safety. In the last 6 months, he has not spoken to any psychologist or psychiatrist because of staff shortages. He hasn't been tested for alcohol in years because they have said 2 things. 1, there's not enough staff to do these tests. And 2, they just don't feel that he needs that sort of testing, although he's been an alcoholic since his teenage years. And the fact that this is a person who is more evil than ill and is more interested in getting out than getting better. And I fear that we're going to be here talking in a few years' time that he has reoffended.
I should point out that the reasons for his being given this conditional discharge have not been made public yet. No. According to the website of the tribunal that looked at this, the review board, it will be released in due course. We don't know what that means. We could have had a reporter there. We didn't. But we're kind of a little bit blind to the reasons here until those decisions are published. Do we know where he's going to be?
Well, so I did reach out to the BC Prosecution Service. I have a couple of answers to some of what you've raised there. BC Prosecution Service did provide a response. I asked them specifically, not the actual address, knowing that that's not likely something that's going to be given up here, but what's the city? What are the parameters of this residence? Is it a single occupancy? Can he live with roommates? Are there any rules about living either with or in proximity of children? Again, I don't know the answer did not satisfy many of those questions, but this is what I got back. If we want to put it up. Well, I cannot share Mr. Johnson Schoenborn's current residence. I can say that it is in BC and that his residence has not changed with the new disposition order. Remember, he had been previously allowed to have those 28-day releases into the community. So what they're saying is that there is already a residence involved. They're just not telling us where it is. As for the reasons for the decision that you brought up there, talking to that family spokesperson, and they have some familiarity with how this all works, they expect they're going to have within those reasons within about 2 to 4 weeks time. So then we'll know a little bit more about what led the review board to this decision. And it's not just the family, by the way, that is upset about learning about this conditional discharge. The mayor of Port Coquitlam, and that is really the home to the Forensic Psychiatric Hospital, he's weighed in with his concerns. And I want to read you his post that he's just put up. As a father, I can't even start to get my head wrapped around this. This is clearly a deranged sick, sick, sick individual. And like it or not, there are some people in our society who cannot and should not be free, be out and about. And Allan Schoenborn is one of those people. And just once again, let me stress that Allan Schoenborn is not the name he now goes by. It's Ken John Johnson.
Yeah. Okay, Sarah, thank you very much.